The housing market. It's a crisis for most of us, but not for them.
We have made six figures.
How they're making a fortune on foreclosures.
Cindy and Kurtis Squyres.
Kurtis and Cindy Squyres.
Kurtis is Cindy Squyres.
Kurtis and Cindy Squyres, you guys are using the F word. And I don't mean the four-letter F word. I'm talking about flipping.
Hi, I'm Kurtis Squyres.
And I'm Cindy Squyres.
You're about to receive the most unbelievable step-by-step action plan that details exactly how we're taking bank foreclosures and flipping them to hungry investors for regular checks between $7,000 and $15,000.
Those are the smaller ones. We've been known to get assignment fees of even $20,000 and $30,000.
Even more unbelievable is that this video course is completely free, and the content's better than most courses that cost over $1,000.
With our step-by-step action plan, we'll help you get a check like this with your name on it in just a few short weeks from now.
And this is not pie-in-the-sky theory, and it's not seminar filler that you've heard over and over again. This is usable stuff that works in this market. We know, because this is how we make our living.
That's right, and that's why recently we were featured on the front page of the LA Times, MSN Money, Inside Edition, Fox News 3 or 4 times, and even more.
Now, before I keep going, you might have a little voice in the back of your head that's wondering, why would these people be giving me this free information if they're doing so great flipping foreclosures? Well, the altruistic reason that we might give you is that it really helps the economy, moving these vacant, broken down houses to investors to be fixed up, and it injects cash back into the system.
Or that it helps create beautiful new homes for families who need them.
And don't forget about the investors. You're helping other investors realize their hopes and dreams by providing them with deeply discounted houses.
Okay, I admit, there's also a selfish reason we want to give you our hard-won secrets.
Well, let me explain. Now, about a decade ago, Cindy and I started buying, fixing, and selling for profit over 280 homes across Southern California. Our first year in real estate, we made over $400,000 and things were great until 2005. In 2005, the California real estate market crashed in what is now going to be recognized as the biggest real estate crash in history.
Yeah, if you're a real estate professional of any kind, you understand what Kurtis is talking about.
Now, we had 9 properties in various stages of repair, and we committed one of the classical textbook mistakes where we had over 80% of our net worth tied up in these properties. Well, you take 9 mortgages, full-time employee, 2 part-time employees.
Don't forget 4 kids, and one of them was an infant at that time.
Yeah, and that really hurt because Cindy runs our rehabs, so you throw a newborn into the equation, and you know, basically I had Cindy a lot less than I needed her. So 2006 was undoubtedly the hardest year of my entire life. It's the first year that I stopped coaching the kids' soccer teams. I started working 90-hour work weeks.
Yeah, I remember Kurtis went on a conference across the country, and kids and I barely even noticed he was gone.
Well, it was a full-time job trying to get rid of these properties. We held auctions. We did everything we could. And don't forget, this is when the mortgage meltdown peaked. 100 national lenders went out of business, and 2 of our escrows completely fell out. So as hard as we tried, we ended up losing 2 of those properties to foreclosure. Yeah. And we were financially wiped out.
It was a very scary time for us. I remember it was my 40th birthday, and Kurtis and I looked at each other and said, we need to see the forest through the trees. So we got in the car and just started driving and writing on a notepad, and we wrote down all of our strengths and weaknesses, and we realized one thing.
That we're good at one thing, which is getting deals. I mean, we've done literally hundreds of thousands of postcards, direct mail, signs, billboards. I've knocked on hundreds of doors.
You can buy a house at the kitchen table.
We can buy it through escrow. We're really good at getting deals. So what we did was we changed our entire business model to something that's called wholesaling. And that was the beginning of farbelowmarket.com in the beginning of 2007. So what we did from there is we targeted bank foreclosures because we knew the number of foreclosures the banks were going to have to start selling them for great prices. Well, it took a few months, but we finally got one. And this time, instead of fixing it up and calling a contractor, we called an investor friend that we knew, and within a week we had a check in our hand for $7,000.
We knew we were onto something then. We got another deal under contract about 3 weeks later and wholesaled that one to another investor friend for about $15,000.
Right, and it just kept getting better and better because what we would do is when we got an offer accepted from the bank, we would immediately take pictures of the property, put it on Craigslist, eBay, just all over the internet. And we would get a flood of emails from other investors that were, hungry for these deals. So our buyers list with each deal got bigger and bigger and bigger.
So now you do the math. You've got banks just giving properties away at fire sale prices, and you've got a whole bunch of real estate investors who are hungry for deals.
Yeah, and it really worked great, and it basically is what turned it around for us. And again, this business model is called wholesaling. So the turnaround time of getting a check is almost instant. You don't need any cash, you don't need any credit. So if you're ready to get a check in your hand, just sign over here to the right, and oh, I almost forgot. What's in it for us? You're probably still wondering. We've created a monster, and our buyers list is literally in the thousands now. There's no way that Cindy and I could meet the demand on this. So our goal is to create a nationwide network of wholesalers. Now, it might be a little bit optimistic, but we feel like it's an idea whose time has come.
That's right. Wholesaling is a team sport. So sign in right here, and if you know anybody who wants to learn this along with you, send them the link below, and you can learn together. Now, just remember, sign yourself in first, because we don't know how long we're going to keep this page up.
That's right. And our solemn promise to you is that you're going to be blown away by this information. We will never share your email with anyone else ever. And at any time, if you don't feel that our action plan to getting a check in your hand within a few weeks is the real deal, you can just unsubscribe at any time.
That's right. And by signing in right now, you get your first tutorial absolutely now.
In minutes.
Absolutely
Absolutely now. Absolutely now.